Welcome back, everybody, to the Tradewaiters Podcast, the comic book club where we read a different trade paperback every single week. I'm Daniel, you're Nathan, we're brothers, we read comics.
And it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, Daniel.
It sure is.
Because I think this comes out on the 1st, right?
I don't know.
Next Friday?
Yeah.
It's beginning to look like Christmas.
It sure is.
And
we're in our winter coats here.
Can't wait
in our beanies, if you're listening.
Can't wait to watch all the Christmas episodes of everything.
Mostly just solar opposites.
Just solar opposites. Maybe I'll revisit the Guardians one again.
True. I don't know. It feels like that just came out, you know?
It does feel like that, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then I feel like I watched the solar opposites one like a little bit too soon from when it came out, which is like 2 years ago. And I'm like, all right, I still remember all the jokes here, you know? It's not like shocking enough. You have to give some things some time, you know?
Yeah. I just like that they shit on the Jingle All the Way, like, universe.
Yeah.
Which is a movie I remembered like very much liking as a child, and I'm scared to go back to it now because of how much they roasted it. So
maybe I'll like just hunt down random Christmas episodes of shows that I like don't watch. And do that, like The Simpsons or something. There's probably like 100 Christmas episodes.
There's probably a lot there. I did that for Halloween. I watched like the Simpsons. Like they call it like Murder Tree or something. That's like something about a tree.
Good name.
And yeah, Murder Tree.
Sounds like
Dude,
a comic.
They got some freaky stuff in those Simpsons episodes. So
dude, you know,
maybe they got some good Christmas stuff too.
I just found out that there's like a Wes Anderson style Simpsons episode where they direct it like as
if Wes Anderson did it.
That's
awesome.
I'm like, that sounds hilarious.
I think Disney Plus typically does like, here's all the Christmas episodes of shit. So I might have to run through those.
Yeah, for sure. But we got different time codes in our description. You can jump around. We got Back Matter Matters, the poll list, but we start with the news.
What the hell even happened?
Not a lot of news here.
Yeah, I think we're a bit dry.
I guess Invincible's coming to Fortnite. Do we know that?
We did not know that before, but it is coming to Fortnite.
Time for me to get on Fortnite, Nathan.
I just remember seeing a meme, and it's like they were doing like the Invincible like cutoff thing. They're like, "Oh my god, and then it was just like Fortnite instead of the Invincible logo. And
it's
I thought
Fortnite.
It was funny. Yeah, they look like cell shaded and stuff, so that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I didn't really look that deep into it.
If you want Mark Grayson to do the gritty, or if you want Omni-Man to floss, now's your time.
Damn. Maybe I don't want this.
Yeah, it is weird. Call of Duty's getting that way too.
Yeah, with like Warzone.
Because you like Nicki Minaj is in is a player model that you can play, and then you could have her do any of the like special like finisher like animation things when you like walk up behind someone and like knife them. There's like a little like killing animation thing they could do. And I saw one where it was just Nicki Minaj doing the spawn animation when you like,
wow,
which is just insane because you can like just match whatever player model to whatever like finisher that was in the game as long as you own both.
Man.
So it was pretty wild.
That's crazy. These are getting to be a little bit too much. I don't have any of these games, so I don't actually know, but it sounds like it's too much.
I got used to it when Thanos was in Fortnite, and then I just saw a bunch of clips of him twerking. So so now I'm desensitized to it. Daniel, The Joker Year One by Chip Zdarsky, Giuseppe Camuncoli, and Andrea Sorrentino.
Mm-hmm. This is just like an arc in Batman, right?
I think it's Batman 142 through 144. I didn't realize that at the time, but it says at the bottom.
So pretty close.
He's got some cool covers he's got going on for it.
Very freaky.
Yeah, very cool stuff.
That'd be neat.
So I'm excited.
Ballsy.
I'm going to try and catch up with Batman on my flight. Because I think I'm behind like 15 issues. So my goal is to get caught up. I'm
probably somewhere around there.
My goal is to either get caught up on Batman or World's Finest. Because I know I will like both of them. But I'm so far behind and I keep picking them up. Like those are the only two that I've like
you're like, I should take it easy, but then again I'm like, I will read these, you know. And
I've been doing good about taking it easy week to week. I only picked up 3 things this week.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about in the poll list. But
sweet. Dave Filoni is now the chief creative officer at Lucasfilm.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Mark Miller, Daniel,
okay,
was like, we did big game. Wasn't that crazy? Guess what? We're going to have 5 new series in 2024.
Oh, fuck.
5 new titles we're launching, and we'll get the announcements on March 21st, which is pretty late.
I feel like you should probably start one of those like in like January.
Yeah, because like if you're gonna have 3 months or 4 months if he's not doing anything in December, right? Of like nothing, and then you're gonna have 5 titles in like the span of 8 months.
Yeah, and they're like minimum 4 issues.
Yeah,
you know, so you'll have like stuff coming out like every week essentially.
Yeah, and then he posted a teaser, but I think it's just like a mashup of stuff from before because it's got like the wanted guy, right?
It looks like a big game cover.
Huck. Yeah, it does look like a big game cover, and then some Magic Order stuff. So who knows what will be announced? But hopefully it's 5 new things because I don't want to see him do the same.
What was that thing at the bottom there?
I don't know. I don't know what this is.
That's the one that like was turned into an anime.
Oh, Super Creep. Or
Super Crooks.
Super Crooks.
Dude, if he brought back Super Crooks, I'd be stoked.
Did you like that one?
Yeah, that's like...
Are they in Big Game?
That
Probably,
I don't know.
Right?
Are you caught up on Big Game? Did you finish it?
I didn't finish it.
Okay. So maybe those are just like characters that were left out.
But if I saw them, I wouldn't have known.
But then again, Wesley is in there. So
yeah,
in that picture.
Mm-hmm.
So he said new. So you'd think it'd be new stuff. But if he revisited some of his books, I would not hate it, you know?
Yeah. We'll see.
Only if I got to pick which ones, you know?
Which ones did you pick?
Super Crooks, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he came back to Gas and Jupiter's Legacy.
Yeah, that's true. Jupiter's Legacy.
Oh, dude, fucking Reborn. He needs to come back with that
Reborn
shit.
would be cool. But he'd have to get Greg back, and I think he's at Marvel now. So
yeah. So, well, it didn't seem like he was like exclusive to Marvel. It just like he was starting to
he's just doing stuff on Marvel. Yeah, okay. That's fair.
But yeah, there's like a handful where I'm like, I want more of this, you know?
I would do like another... Did he revisit Chrononauts?
There's 2 trades of that, I think.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I think he just redid that one.
I liked Empress, so you bring that back.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to get Imminent though.
Right. See, like
Huck is fine.
He's like set up to where like they're just one trades that he does with these like legendary artists because he gets to pick whoever he wants.
Yeah, because he pays them well.
Yeah,
and they're like, hell yeah,
he can afford them.
Did you see that? There's like something I saw randomly, but it was like a previous editor in chief at Marvel leaked the page rates for artists in like the 80s or something, and they're higher than what they were now.
That's fucked.
Isn't that fucked up?
Like what? Give me an example.
It was like 100 and like something per page for just pencils, and then there's a separate kind of close rate for inks, and then something kind of close to that for colors. Wow. And so now I think, artists are probably getting paid, it varies, but there's like
if you're
the
like
minimum for that is like higher than what the minimum now is. So
that's crazy.
That's a little bit bizarre.
Yeah, because like comics were week to week comics were different back then.
Yeah.
But like
I wish I could find it. I didn't.
Because like in my head, I'm like, oh, if you're like a Marvel artist and you're maybe doing a fill-in page or something like that, or like a fill-in issue, maybe like $150 like a page.
Yeah.
And then like if you're like, in high demand, you can get up to like $300 or something like that. But
I feel like I saw it today, but I don't know if I'll be able to.
Anyway, Nathan, we got a trailer for Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1.
Wasn't it leaked? Or was it official?
It looked official to me. I don't remember who posted it.
Okay.
But yeah, we got a trailer. Looks pretty cool. I didn't watch it with headphones. I just kind of looked at it,
I didn't see it at all.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I haven't ever read Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Me neither.
But I like started it like a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a lot. But like it's like fun, and so...
Because that was the first Crisis, right?
No, I think... No. Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
Crisis on Infinite Earths is the first one for sure.
You know what? Let me double check that that's what it was, because I thought it was Infinite Crisis. Because like that...
Infinite Crisis is a lot.
Have you read that?
Yeah, but it was like when I first started reading comics, and so I had no idea what the hell was going on.
I feel like you could figure it out.
No, dude, I was like lost. I like bought all of them when I was buying stuff on mycomicshop.com because there wasn't a comic shop near us. And then I read... Like, I think it was like 5 issues, and I think I bought 5 issues, and then I only read like 2 because I was like, damn, this is crazy. Are you looking up what the DC
so
movie?
It is Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah.
Not,
but you're reading Infinite Crisis.
Infinite Crisis, correct.
That's the modern one, yeah. Have you read Crisis on Infinite Earths?
No.
Me neither. My old history teacher had like a big, like, double-page spread, like, George Perez poster.
Nice.
Of Crisis on Infinite Earths, and it's that one where, like, there's just a bunch of shit happening, like, flashes kind of running through the middle. I think it's like one of the pages in that book, but I couldn't tell you.
Isn't that the one where like the Flash dies? or something.
It's like him running, and then the Speed Force kills him, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. But I remember looking at that, and I'm like, that's a cool poster. And then I remember seeing the actual page later, or the cover, or whatever it was, and I was like, that's the poster my teacher had.
Yeah.
And I'll never know if she was like actually into comics or not.
Yeah. So I guess it was leaked because it was posted by Discussing Film, and it was disabled by like the copyright owner. And so, but anyway, part 1 that'll be coming out in January at some point.
I like Discussing Film because there's a parody account called Disbussing Film.
Yeah, that shit fucks with me a lot.
It does fuck with me a lot. And then it also got other news sources because they said Tom Cruise was going to be in Inside Out 2 as the emotion adrenaline. And then a different news outlet like posted that headline pretty much to get like clicks and shit. So they got baited.
That's hilarious.
I think it's really funny.
Yeah, because people will post on like fucking TikTok.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no. That's why I saw like the Sky University, like the Sky High sequel. Like, and I'm like, no way.
I was like, yes. Dude, they know what people want.
Yeah, they're just they're basically just printing ideas.
If I was a movie studio or a TV studio and I was like, let's figure out like what we should do, I would feed them like an idea that like maybe we were cooking up and then see like what the reaction is.
Yeah. And then the people will be like, oh, just busting film.
Yeah, it's just busting film.
Just busting film.
It's just busting film. Daniel, DC is like, hey, we're gonna have a new first appearance on May 24th, 2024. And they announced it with a cover for, I think, Blue Beetle as a Dawn of DC cover, and it's like a ultrasound
of a beetle.
We don't really know what it seems to be. Not baby-like, so maybe beetle-like. So maybe
I don't like when people do this.
I don't like it either.
Like when they're like, "Oh, this will be a first appearance. Make sure you buy it."
That's pretty much guaranteed. It's not going to be anything valuable, But I guess
because they'll print the shit.
But I guess there are enough people that try and collect number ones, maybe that it will catch those people.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Like, remember when like Red Goblin was a thing? Like that the first appearance of that.
And Gold Goblin?
Lesser so that. But Red Goblin, that was like that one sold like a lot because you saw like he was like referred to in like the issue before. And then you knew, and he was on the cover for the next one.
Yeah.
So everyone got like that next one.
I should have selected Gold Goblin as my birthday book.
I would have hated you.
Okay, I'm gonna think about it throughout the course of this episode.
That'd really get under my skin.
But normally I like to pick things that I remember being really good when I first started reading comics, but might not be that good, and so that's what this one's gonna be. But I'll tell you later.
All right, fair enough. Let's get into the book this week.
We read A Man's Skin.
Yeah, hold on.
Or the French version is what Daniel's gonna say right now.
Hold on, I gotta like look it up.
Poudum.
Poudum.
Poudum?
Poudum.
Wow, how'd they fit 3 words in there?
I don't know.
Poudum.
I wonder what that translates to.
Poudum, a man's skin.
Well, like, I think they just made like the most appropriate like title, and so it's like a loose translation. You know how like sometimes
if I typed in man's skin, and then that's what popped up.
Oh,
which is like the correct title.
Oh, okay, gotcha. You know how sometimes though it'll be like an American movie, and then they translate it to fit like Chinese like audiences or whatever, or like catch them, and it'll be like something kind of different.
Yeah, like
if one of the Avengers changed.
Movies will just have different titles in different places. Like I think Fast and the Furious is just like Fast Car or something.
I love that.
Fast Car 9.
I'm like, oh yeah, I love Fast Car.
So this is a French book that picked up. It's by Hubert
and Zanzim.
Zanzim.
Everyone has one name over there.
This was published by Ablaze Comics. At least the American version.
Yeah.
Or the English
I think they
version.
translated it and then
something like that. Yeah. That'd be a cool job.
I feel like it'd be hard.
It would be hard, but it'd be cool. But like if you just
get to read comics and then I guess they would have to like change the lettering and shit too. I wonder what the process is for translating comics.
It's probably pretty annoying.
Yeah.
So
what do you think of this book, Daniel?
I think this was like exactly what I was looking for when I was shopping for these. I just wanted something that looked really French. I think this looks very French.
It does look very French.
Weird concept that, might not be in like a American comic book.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely different like art style that's more like, I don't even know how to describe it.
I don't know either. It's like really cool, and
it's like artistic in a way, but like that's like a bad word to describe art.
Art is artistic.
Yeah.
It feels like just foreign cartooning, I guess.
Yeah.
And there's probably like a style like to compare it to, like some sort of like Renaissance cartooning or something. But
Sure.
it was very like, it feels very fresh to just like read, because it seems like every page it's like its own like newspaper comic strip almost.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about it?
I thought it was great. I thought it was gonna be a horror book, just based off the cover and how freaky that is.
I feel that.
I thought he was gonna kill. I thought she killed someone and then was like wearing his skin, and I'm like, this is fucked up.
That'd be so sick.
But then it ended up being this like really nice story that sort of just explores.
It's like a family heirloom kind of.
Yeah. The skin.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just this really nice story that explores like sexuality and like gender inequality and shit like that.
In society, Nathan.
In society, and how society is too religious back in the day.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So I thought it was really cool. And like the concept of it, even though it's like kind of creepy,
Yeah.
they made it seem like just really nice and like innocent.
Yeah,
And
they're like,
I'm
don't think about it too hard.
Yeah, I didn't, and I was like, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I thought,
there's some logistics here that I'm curious about, but
yeah, it was fun. I didn't think it was too like choppy because it's like translated from like a different language.
yeah, no, I didn't think that either.
Yeah, it seemed to flow pretty well. I don't know who translated it, but they did a good job.
Yeah, and like there are parts in the story where I'm like, something would happen and I'd be like, wow, this is drama.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't wait to see how this happens. And I cannot believe how it ended. There's something.
Yeah, it is a little bizarre.
There's something that doesn't happen. And I'm like, this is bizarre that they just like didn't do this specific thing. So I'll talk about it. But yeah, I liked it.
Okay. I'm glad you liked it. It was kind of like, I like the cover, and then I had a brief synopsis. I'm like, that'll work.
Yeah, it's cool.
But yeah, we got nice hardcovers now.
Good style. It's the winner of the Prix Zef de la Bid in 2020, or the festival.
BD.
BD. Yeah. Okay.
Because BD is like what they call graphic novels in like, I think just Europe in general.
Well, it's won 7 awards. So
wow,
pretty cool.
Bande dessinée.
So pretty easy. That's how they say comics.
Oh, okay, cool.
But that's like they shorten it to BD.
Oh, okay.
And that's mostly just graphic novels. But like you'll go to like a comic shop and it's they don't have like single issues really. It's just all like graphic novels there.
That's how it should be.
So it kind of looks like a Barnes and Noble section of like comics.
That's sick.
And they'll say like something BDs or whatever, and so or BD.
We should abbreviate comic shops to CSs.
This is or C's
To C's.
Yeah. Anyway,
let's get into it, Daniel.
So this is set in Renaissance Italy.
Yes, it is.
That's important.
Yep. Bianca is 18 years old and a virgin and is being forced into an arranged marriage with this dude named Giovanni, a man that she only meets one time and doesn't really know. And Bianca also has a brother named Angelo, who's like super religious. He's like a father or whatever they were called.
A priest.
A priest. There you go.
He's a father.
He's a father. Yeah, he's a priest.
I'm like, he used to have kids.
And then Bianca is like, well, I want to know my future husband a bit before marrying him because she's crazy. Or at least everybody made her seem that way. And I'm like, it seems reasonable, you know? So Bianca's grandmother shows her Lorenzo, which is just a skin of a man that when put on turns you into a man with like fully like working organs and shit. So
does it really?
Yes, dude. Did you miss that she masturbated immediately?
Hold on.
Okay, hold on. Wait, so
let me fucking
it's like the first thing she does, and I'll read you the line, and it's impossible to miss because she says, "Through my curious fingers, this foreign organ came to life. The more I caressed it, the more this strange warmth ran through me, spreading from my pelvis to every part of my body. Suddenly, all these emotions exploded out of me in a white fountain, leaving my fingers sticky and me exhausted and baffled." She like jerks off.
Oh, yeah, because she gets hard.
Yeah, which is insane.
That's hilarious.
And it's like the first thing that she does.
I thought it was just the skin, and then the dick and balls were there.
No, like it like turns her into a thing, and that's what I'm confused about because
let's go with that.
She like zips it up in the back.
Yeah,
but then like you can't see like any zipper or anything. So I assume that whenever she puts it on like the skin knows that she's trying to become man, and when she wants to take it off, she could just take it off. But anything in between then, it's just like normal man, and she becomes Lorenzo.
Okay.
So I think the skin's like magic kind of thing.
Magic skin. Okay.
But she busts a nut immediately.
I literally thought it was just like a skin that like just has survived this long or whatever.
No, she just busted on herself, and she's like, man, I'm exhausted now. Also, like this page where all that's being said, these fountains are wild. They're like fountains, but the water comes out of the nips of the lady statues.
Nice.
And I'm like, this is just a bizarre page. What are we in for? This is like page 17. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, this book's way different than I thought.
I'm like, we're just straight into it. I love
it. Yeah, no. They don't fucking beat around the bush.
They really cut the fat off of this thing, man.
They do. I was like, damn, I didn't expect this till like chapter 2.
I don't know if this is something that happens in French books a lot, but getting to the art part of it, but they'll have like, a splash page, but it'll be like, them in multiple different spots.
Yeah, I love that.
You watch like the motion.
Yeah.
They kind of do that in American comics sometimes, but like if it's like the Flash or whatever. But
but I can see this being like a piece that you like hang up on a wall, and it just kind of tells like its own little
story
story about the journey throughout wherever they are. So, but yeah, Bianca finds Giovanni, her future husband, and then follows him around as Lorenzo until Giovanni notices Lorenzo. And then they both go into the bar, and then Bianca sees how men just act when it's just all men, all the boys in the bar.
Boy talk.
And so
it's clearly Saturday here.
Yeah, it's clearly Saturday. They're just talking about, let me fuck your wife. That's like all they're talking about. And so Lorenzo gets frustrated and leaves. And that's pretty much chapter 1. But like, so then she like takes off the skin, right? And you see it kind of come off in the back when like her grandma's like helping her out.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know how you take it off by yourself. But there's no zipper or anything on the back, so I'm just curious. I just assume when she wants to take it off, she can just take it off and don't think about it too hard.
They have like square like speech bubbles, which is interesting.
It makes it like the border almost looks like the frame of like a fancy painting. Or like that's what the shape of the speech bubble is.
So I wrote some notes about like the whole transition like part that you're talking about. And I was like, she can get it up? She's like, it ejaculates?
Yeah.
So I think I was just like confused and just rolling with the punches of this first chapter.
Yeah. No, I think you just magically become man. But she describes it as like wearing clothes. So I don't know how like the dick works, but
it just becomes part of you.
Yeah, I guess so. So in chapter 2, the next day, Bianca wears Lorenzo out again, but to just like hang out. And then Giovanni runs into Lorenzo, and they go back into the bar to drink. But this time they get into a bar fight, and Lorenzo like punches somebody, and which is like the first time Bianca's like ever done something like that.
I like how the bar fight's like all red.
Yeah, like the color palettes kind of change with like each setting that they're in on like every page, and I think that's really cool. Like they did a really good job. And then Lorenzo's like so drunk that Giovanni puts Lorenzo on like an Uber horse, and the horse just like takes him back home, I guess.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He just throws Lorenzo on a horse and is like, good luck.
You fall asleep on a horse and you just wake up at home?
Yeah. And I'm like, I would be like, damn, how the fuck did I actually get here? And she wakes up as Bianca. So she wakes up as Lorenzo, I think.
Yeah. Or she like goes to the door as Lorenzo, and then
the grandmother comes up.
And then godmother like helps her out. And then like at nighttime they'll do like the blues and stuff, which looks really cool.
Yeah, the coloring on this is really fun.
I like how when she's like hungover, it's got like a hungover noise, like the little scribbly. I'm like, I feel that.
That's definitely how I feel. So the next day they go to Bianca's brother's mass, and it's him spouting his shit about demons and corruption and temptation, about sex and stuff. But Bianca also sees people there that were at the bar fight. And so she kind of learns that people aren't really like what they seem all the time. And
wasn't it like a gay bar?
There was some gay stuff going on, but I don't know if it was a gay bar. Could have been.
Okay.
And then Giovanni and Lorenzo hang out again. They start play fighting, and then they kiss each other. And then they're like, ooh, that was weird. And then Lorenzo leaves, and Bianca has a dream later about taking off Bianca's skin to become Lorenzo and being with Giovanni. And this dream sequence is wild.
I like the colors in this too.
The colors of it are really cool and like profound, but it's just wild, like how it's like reversed. Like she takes off her own skin to become man.
Yeah, but she's like the skin and watching her husband like
Yeah,
Kiss Lorenzo
it's
or
bizarre.
whatever.
Like, yeah, her like just empty skin.
It is quite the nightmare.
Her boneless skin. Yeah, I mean, maybe it is a horror book. I don't know. And I like the scene before the dream sequence where her mom's trying to convince her that dudes just play fight and kiss for fun, and that's just like what dudes do. Because she's trying to be like, ooh, looks like Giovanni's gay, but I can't tell her that, you know.
I mean, that's what I do with my bros, you know,
Yeah.
with the homies.
We play fight and then we kiss. So then Lorenzo and Giovanni see each other again, but then at the end of the night, they fuck. And then Lorenzo admits it was his first time while Giovanni's been with like many men, right? Mm-hmm. And then later, Lorenzo becomes pretty comfortable in his skin because he poses for a nude painting, which is just, you know, a thing that he's cool with now. But since Bianca's wedding is approaching, Lorenzo tells Giovanni that he will be leaving for a while. And then Giovanni says that he loves Lorenzo and he doesn't care for Bianca. So they're in pretty deep now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think there's no zipper or anything because he's like pretty much... He gets pretty close.
Yeah.
So I think you'd be able to tell. And then the silhouette of like the butt fucking, and I'm like, oh, wow, he's pretty attached now. So
yeah.
I don't know how you're going to explain this to him later when he inevitably finds out what this is. But yeah. So pretty spicy. Like, I'm like, ooh, there's some drama here, you know?
Yeah, I'm like, this is crazy. Yeah, and I love just like describing this to Sarah. I'm like, get a load of this.
So a girl becomes a man with a skin and has gay butt sex. It's great.
with her husband.
With her soon-to-be husband.
She's like, so a wife has sex with her husband? I'm like, it's crazier than that.
No, you don't understand. He's basically cheating. So, chapter 3, Bianca and Giovanni have their wedding, and then they have like their weird assigned sex.
You got to consummate the marriage.
Yeah, you got to consummate the marriage, but neither of them enjoy it. And then their like married life after is like pretty distant from each other. And
I like how they had like strategies for how to determine the baby's sex.
They had a pregame plan, and they're like, if you want to get a boy, you got to have her facing this way, and then she's got to be tilted to the left or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is bizarre that they're like prepping him. But they have a sick wedding. I'm not going to lie.
Pretty fire.
They have like fire breathers.
Dude, do they like consummate the marriage within the wedding?
No, it looks like that, but then you see them in like a different room.
Okay.
Like later. Or maybe everybody leaves. I don't know. But
oh, dude. And yeah, like it's like her first time or whatever.
This part's insane.
And she gets deflowered, you know.
And then there's blood on the sheets.
And then they just take the sheets off and then wave them off a balcony.
Like it's a fucking flag, and they show the whole town. They're like, look what my fucking daughter just did.
Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah. It's insane. And I'm like, this is weird.
Like it's a fucking Super Bowl trophy or something.
Yeah. They're like, holy shit.
I'm like, that's gross and it has to be humiliating.
Yeah, it has to be, dude.
I would like never leave my house.
Yeah. And then, so Bianca makes up a story about how she's going away for a while so that she can come back as Lorenzo and try and get like a feeler out for how Giovanni like feels about Bianca now, which is not great. And then Lorenzo and Giovanni get caught sleeping together and are run out of town by like some religious guys. Who are these guys? Are they just like religious people?
I think they're like a part of the church. They're just like Jesus freaks or whatever.
Yeah, they're like, I was like, are they like guards or something? But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so they get run out of town. Later, Bianca convinces Giovanni to go out with Bianca, but dressed as a man. So it's not Lorenzo, but she like puts on a hat and like a fake mustache and shit.
Yeah.
And Giovanni's like, holy shit, this is pretty good. And then she has a pretty convincing costume. And Giovanni's like, you're pretty good at being a dude. You got the walk down.
Yeah.
You can hit on girls or whatever. And then Bianca then confronts Giovanni about being gay with another lover. And they talk about it. And then they like fuck, which is like a little confusing for like the whole relationship. But she like, Lorenzo,
there's more of the
Giovanni
stuff that
doesn't
he
fuck
likes.
her. Yeah. It's like Bianca fucking him with like doing hand stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is crazy. He's just, Giovanni gets around. I don't
That's
know.
where the prostate is, Nathan.
Yeah. So that happens. And then,
Yeah, like they do it like when she's still dressed as like the dude.
yeah.
You know?
So I wonder if that was like a requirement.
It's definitely an interesting dynamic they have.
Yeah.
Because really, like at least to Giovanni, they're like just friends. You know, like
Yeah.
there's no like love there.
But then she looks enough like a man, I guess, for him to be like, okay, I could probably do this
Yeah.
and enjoy it. And then Angelo Bianca's brother, through his like religious popularity, becomes the mayor and then outlaws like a bunch of stuff, including adultery, which affects Bianca's friend Rubina, and it pisses off Bianca. And then Bianca's mom later sees Lorenzo and calls out Bianca for it. And that's pretty much that chapter.
Yeah, because she like knows about the skin.
She wore it like one time to do pretty much what Bianca wanted to do, but only wore it like one time.
Yeah, and so I guess she like recognized it or whatever.
And I feel like the book could have gone the direction of like where the mom notices the Lorenzo nude painting and then like investigated from there to be like that's definitely Lorenzo. Like who's being Lorenzo right now? And figure it out. But no, they just like happen to run into each other on the street.
Yeah.
Seems a little bit strange, but and it's also crazy that Bianca's friend Rubina like is getting like arrested and cuffed or whatever, but they cut her hair off.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which is crazy. But then there's like this little drawing of like the dog pissing on like her
leg or something.
Leg, and I'm like, come on, that's like a little like no one instructed that dog to do that clearly.
Yeah.
But the artist is like, this needs to be worse.
Yeah.
Worse than her getting her hair cut off.
Let's make it a little stinky now.
Cuffed. Yeah. Now she's got dog piss on her. So yeah.
And then with her mom finding out, the godmother like
just dips,
just leaves. Yeah.
She's like, ooh, I don't want the heat from this.
Yeah.
So chapter 4, like some time passes. Lorenzo comes back and convinces the men to like draw porn on the ground to like spite Angelo.
Yeah.
And then Lorenzo publicly speaks out against.
This is crazy. Like the
art,
painting,
the art on the ground is bizarre.
I was like, wow.
There's like 5 guys having sex in there.
I like how there was like a statue that they knocked over and they used the head.
that was creative. And then yeah, Lorenzo like speaks out against Angelo's laws, and that like makes him a heretic. And then Lorenzo's followers fight the religious followers. But like, so like this speech is like pretty good about being like kind of just open in who you are and whatever. And then like when this fight happens, all of like Lorenzo's followers are wearing like furry suits essentially. Like they're wearing like animal costumes. And I don't really know what happened there. why are they in those?
There's like a festival or something that they do every year. And Angelo was trying to stop it because it's too like provocative or whatever.
Oh,
and so they were kind of fighting back while being dressed up as all of that.
I feel like that put them at a disadvantage.
Probably.
It's probably harder to see.
Yeah.
But later, Bianca finds out that she's pregnant. And so she says goodbye as Lorenzo to Giovanni for a while. But when they meet, Giovanni gets ambushed by Angelo's like religious dudes and gets like beaten up, but Lorenzo like escapes. And then Bianca like officially like says goodbye to Lorenzo for a while and like puts the skin in like whatever crate chest thing that they put him in. It's kind of weird how like Angelo just kind of turns into the villain like right at the end, you know?
He turns into it's kind of like in the middle, doesn't it?
I feel like he really becomes like he becomes like the bad guy almost like at the end of the 3rd like chapter when he like outlaws adultery and stuff, and then it's like, all right, let's beat him this chapter.
I like that the earlier chapters focus on like building up like the main characters and like the plot.
I like it too.
And then but like the villain is there the whole time, but that also develops, you know, because he's like disarming at first because like, oh, it's like her brother, you know. And then he just kind of gets more and more popular as this like religious freak, and then kind of goes on like a power trip. Yeah,
I guess it is good because if it was just Bianca like up there like saying shit, nothing would have been influenced, you know. Yeah. But since she was like Lorenzo, that like makes a difference. Yeah, you know, especially in this town. So like, I just kind of expected it like the whole time to be like this situation and how it gets resolved. So I'm just like, oh, okay. I guess her brother's the bad guy now.
And I guess through like the pull of like her dad, I guess he's like the king or something. I don't know.
I don't really know either.
So he like talks to like some of the people in the church to convince them to have Angelo go on like a retreat where he's basically like just exiled in a way.
Yeah.
To where things can kind of calm down there and kind of go back to normal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he's like run out of town because of the strict laws. And then Bianca and Giovanni are still married, but she goes to like the prison where Giovanni's being held and like kind of lays down like the rules of how they're gonna be a thing going forward, which is like an open relationship, but with Giovanni traveling and leaving Bianca with raising the child.
Yeah.
But they could both like have sex with whoever.
Well, he's like still in jail.
He's still in jail here, but she's like, you're gonna like get out. Like, I'll tell them that you're in here, but here's what's gonna go down going forward.
It made it seem like when he was gone, for the time he was gone, it was like because he was still in jail, but just somewhere else, I guess.
Yeah.
But
she says, my brother's been discredited. The town council found reason. You'll only be exiled for a short time. You'll be able to realize your dreams of adventure. So she just kind of like is like, you're going to get out, but here's how our relationship's going to work from here. Since you know, you're not attracted to me.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, good. Lay down the law. But it almost seems like Giovanni gets off easy here because he could just like go travel and like adventure or whatever and not have to like take care of a kid.
Yeah.
So he got lucky here. But
he's also like not
Bianca
like
wants
a bad
it this
person.
way.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Because
But
like it is like his kid, you know?
it is.
And so she's still like letting him be like a part of like the baby's life and whatnot. And so
Yeah.
it's
and
kind of
and
like
the gall of him to be like, no, you can't sleep around with other dudes. I'm like, are you serious?
oh, did he say that?
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
Because Bianca's like, if you come back one day, we'll each have our own room, our own bed, and we will each do as we wish. And he's like, no, I forbid it. And I'm like, bitch, are you serious?
Yeah.
So
That almost seemed like she's like, it's not as though you loved me, so your jealousy is misplaced.
yeah,
And so
so eloquently put.
and she's like, you're not in a position to set rules.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, girl boss.
Yeah.
So then chapter 5 is kind of just like the epilogue almost, but it's like months later. Bianca gives birth to Chiara, and Bianca and Giovanni keep in contact over like letter. So Giovanni has a relationship with Hans as a boyfriend, but he's like, I still really miss Lorenzo. Like, I wonder where he's at. And then Giovanni eventually comes back to the town. He meets his daughter, and then Bianca gets into a relationship with her friend Tommaso, like randomly.
Yeah, because he was at like the beginning of
Like
the
the
book
very
for like a
beginning,
page.
And like I didn't know that they like liked each other.
I was like,
But there's like a friend. I thought it was like a friend, and like she was worried that that future husband wouldn't let them hang out.
there was kind of like a look. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be scandalous. I bet.
Oh.
You know,
And
but it
so,
seemed to work out in a way.
So she gets into a relationship with Tommaso, and then occasionally like dresses up as a man to like hang out in the town as a man undetected, but not as Lorenzo. And that's pretty much the story. But what's crazy to me is that Giovanni never finds out that Lorenzo is actually Bianca. And so his love life is kind of fucked up for forever now because of it. Because he's kind of waiting for like Lorenzo to just pop up out of nowhere, like he
Because
normally
he like
does.
always like misses him.
Yeah, and like even in the letters, he's like, "Yeah, I found this Hans dude, but he's like not Lorenzo, and I like still miss him, and I think about him."
You
And I'm
think
like, this
about
is-
like the
this is
entire
crazy.
book, like I'm like, oh, I can't wait for the reveal.
I
where
know.
he like finds out that she's like Lorenzo the whole time.
Yeah, and there's gonna be so much drama,
and then just like figure out like how he feels about that. Like the man that he fell in love with was his wife.
yeah,
you
and
know?
he's like, "Am I not gay?"
And and it's like you could almost like have like a relationship with that. Like have like
But I
like-
don't know if Bianca would be cool with that.
probably not, but you could. Is
Yeah.
what I'm saying. And then she like tells her baby about like the skin of Lorenzo.
Yeah,
Like, oh, you'll be able to use this someday. You
which
know,
is
like,
which is insane. I'm
I'm
like,
like,
you had this whole,
you learned all this shit. Don't you think you wouldn't want that to happen again?
and you only put on the skin because of like the social norms or whatever that were being placed upon you, and you're a much more open-minded parent, so you'd probably like let your kid meet your husband. Like, there's not going to be any forced arranged marriages that
Yeah.
would prompt putting on a man's skin to go meet your husband before you marry them. So I'm like, this is just insane.
Yeah. And so
Where'd the skin come from? Who is that?
I know, right? Like this was a man's skin
I
at
know.
one point.
I need a prequel. Where just a man.
But also it's kind of nice that he never finds out, you know, because then it's kind of like up to interpretation in a way.
Yeah, but his love life is all fucked up.
Yeah, but he's not like the
He's
main
not a great
character.
guy
He's not.
either.
He didn't deserve to have the love of his life, you know.
Yeah.
It's just really funny. And
Yeah, like Bianca ultimately wins, which is cool, and I like that. It's just weird how it happened. And So,
And I'm glad that there wasn't any origin for the skin either. You know, it's just really funny.
American comics do that for sure.
We like jump into this like world. I'm like, okay, I guess the skin's a thing, and then we jump out.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it is. Yeah,
It was very satisfying.
yeah, I liked it. So that's the end.
Yeah, I'm glad it was like as weird as I hoped it would be.
It's very strange. Like this isn't the kind of book that would have an audience here. I feel like, but I liked it, or it would.
I like
think
want to
it's good.
learn French just so I can read like French books. You know,
Yeah, I want
'cause
weird stuff about sexuality and shit like that.
So weird. And you go into those shops and there's just a bunch of covers that you don't recognize and you just don't know what any of these are going to be.
Yeah.
And you really won't ever know unless they get some sort of translation, which
tragic.
is kind of a stretch,
Yeah.
honestly, with some French books.
Yeah. So let's get into Back Matter Matters.
Back matter matters. I'm glad there's back matter. That's kind of refreshing.
Yeah, that is
I was kind of
cool.
worried. I'm like, oh, this is probably just like a straight up picture book or whatever.
Yeah. So they have a discussion guide with like a little synopsis, and they give you like discussion questions.
Yeah, dude, it writes the podcast for you.
I know. So we could talk about the. No, I read some of them. They're not
They're not very good.
questions, but I could see
They're like
this being-
clothing is a major point in this.
I'm like, is it? I guess so.
I'm like, yeah, I guess it makes sense.
But yeah, I'm like, that's funny. They probably like, if they put this in school, that's cool because I think it's relevant. But and then there's like project ideas.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Engage with your local community by seeking out organizations advocating for the rights of the LGBTQ plus community. So interesting.
And
then
propose hosting a book club for a man's skin. Oh, we're doing that right now.
oh, we're gonna do that. Yeah. Then there's a man's skin sketches, and some of these look very different. Some of these like designs are very different from what we get. Like Giovanni.
Yeah, this dude definitely had like a ton of different ideas.
He
on
kind
how
of looked like Adam Driver at first
yeah, in
like Renaissance.
I feel like
period.
he had to almost like kind of dumb down like his artwork, but like his actual like skill in order to kind of maintain this like style. It's kind of like a little bit more picture booky or whatever.
Yeah, he definitely does.
Like these sketches look more like 3D than like these what actually ends up being in the comic, because there's not really any shading. It's just kind of like flat colors mostly.
Yeah. Definitely feels like comic strip kind of style.
It definitely looks like 2D, you know.
And like these sketches, he like watercolors the concepts, which is cool to see. But yeah, it's like a completely different style.
Yeah,
so
you
this is
never
like
see
kind of the
that.
first kind of sketch we see that's like this, where it's just like,
yeah, paint your pencils, everybody.
yeah.
Put some effort in your back matter.
But it's also like the character sketches are completely different from what we see like in the final book. So
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like
It's just
completely
really-
different style, not even like just, the features of the characters, but
Yeah, just spitballing.
yeah, we kind of just see everybody. He's very good. So I like it. We get some, just pencils. Some of the there's some more detail of her putting on the skin, and I don't like it. I don't like to look at it.
Yeah, it's creepy.
So yeah, sketches and stuff.
Yeah, this is cool. Like, it's like,
I like this book.
yeah, I'm glad you liked it, dude. I was like, well, watch this be like really fucking weird, and like we just like it just doesn't
It's
like
just
connect to with us, or it doesn't make sense.
And I'm like, man, the
'cause
French suck.
yeah, like, and so yeah, I think it turned out really well. I'm glad.
Yeah, I think it's a good representation of.
Definitely,
French
probably one of
comics.
the weirder books I own now, which is cool.
Yeah, this will be up on the shelf, and someone will be like, "What's this about?" I'll be like, "Oh."
Let me tell you,
Like
just flip through those pages real quick.
if this is someone's like first comic, this would be very interesting. Because
Yeah, I think
if I want to like disrupt what people think like comics are, which is just like men in spandex suits like punching each other, like I would definitely
yeah,
be like, read this because this is different.
it's crazy because it seems so simple, I guess, but it like says so much.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
very complex, emotional situation,
right.
which I think is cool.
And and it's not like, sure, there's like a lot of sex and naked people in this because of the time and whatnot, but I don't think it's necessarily like a horny book.
No,
You know, it's just kind of how it is.
there's like nudity and stuff in it, but it feels
it feels like a
it's
like a
mature.
history kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, like how statues are and whatnot. And so I think like in the discussion guide thing that he had in like the back, like it does seem like something that could be like taught in school, you know?
Yeah, this could be curriculum.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it almost plays out like it's a weird Romeo and Juliet type shit.
Yeah.
Because there's like arranged marriages that are like obliged or like required almost.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, very cool.
What do you rate this comic, Nathan?
Ooh, good question. What's a Renaissance food?
I was just thinking like I'll do like a French pastry of some sort.
Ooh, I like that too. What was some French food that you had over there?
You know, everything was like in French basically, so I kind of just pointed at stuff.
Okay. I rate this a big croissant.
Basic.
I don't know what else.
There's this one thing that I had that was fucking awesome.
Describe it then.
Profiterole, maybe?
Okay.
So what it was like it was like this dark chocolate color. It looked like almost like a chocolate dome in a way that had like almost like a sprinkle kind of consistency to it.
Okay.
But when you get it, it's like cold. And you're like, hold on a second. And you like bite into it and it feels like there's like ice cream in it, but it feels more creamier than ice cream.
Okay.
And it had like this like layer to it that was like fluffy, kind of like a cream puff kind of thing. But there's also like some caramel in there too. And like the whole bite. Oh, and like the chocolate like outside was like kind of like a dipped cone kind of shell.
So it's like a
thing.
casing.
Yeah. And when you bite it, it kind of tasted like one of those like Snickers ice cream bars.
Ooh.
You know? And I'm like, what the fuck is this? It was like the size of a baseball. I'm like, this is like too big for
It was like a ball?
Yeah, it was like a ball.
Oh, so you eat it like an apple?
Kind of, yeah. Wow. An apple that fell apart.
That's cool.
And so I had this. I'm like, babe, try this. And she's like, that is good. I'm like, you want some more? She's like, no. I'm like, all right, let's go. And so I just ate the rest of it. And it was awesome. And it wasn't even at like a super popular pastry place or bakery or whatever. It was
Did you expect all that stuff on the inside?
It was just, no, not at all. I figured it was like
just a big chocolate ball.
Yeah, chocolate, like
something
croissant ball thing or whatever.
So
I did not know. So there's things that I've never seen before.
Yeah. Well, that's a good rating for this book then, because the cover tells a much different story than what like the story is.
I think the cover is a good representation of the story.
Well, it is. But when I saw this initially, I'm like, wow, this looks fucked up and weird, you know? So that's like my first impression of it.
I like thinking about what you thought it was based off of just the cover. Like how horrifying this could have been.
Because I didn't read the synopsis, so I'm like, this lady kills people.
Keeps all their skin like it's clothes.
But no, she's the most innocent person.
She's got like a wardrobe of skin.
Yeah. So
good stuff.
Good stuff.
So let's get in the pull list, shall we?
Yes.
Colon.
Shove it in your box.
The pull list. What did you shove in your box? What are the 3 things that you picked up this week, Nathan?
Small week, Daniel, and thank goodness, because I got a lot to catch up on. But I got Green Lantern War Journal number 3.
Okay.
So I got to start that. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong number dos.
Yes, sir.
Came out. And then The Holy Roller came out.
Oh, yeah.
One of my more anticipated things, just because Andy Samberg like wrote it, but there's also 2 other people that wrote it. So it's like, how much is he really involved? Who knows? But
he probably just like chimed in.
He's probably like, I want like a story about a bowler, but like an action story.
Yeah, I bet it was just like a bit that like snowballed into like a comic, you know?
Yeah, but it was what was it, like Nick Spencer that also wrote it, and there's like a third guy.
I thought it was like Kyle Higgins or something.
No, I think it was like Spencer.
Okay, we'll see.
But
I have it over there. I just don't want to check.
Yeah.
You didn't get Batman Off-World number 1?
Did that come out today?
By Jason Aaron?
Oh, shit. No, I missed that then.
Okay. You didn't get Somna number 1? The Becky Cloonan distillery book?
Did that come out today?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I saw a thing. It definitely wasn't there at the shop, but
my shop had the Triple X cover.
Oh.
Yeah, you want to see it?
Did you buy it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see it.
It's the same price.
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah, I kept it close. There's just...
Whoa. Very Triple X. Is it backwards?
No. Maybe?
Because this is the spine right here, and then...
That's the cover. Oh, hold on. Let me see. Here, open it.
Backwards? Oh, no, this is the back. This is issue 2. Why would they do that?
Maybe just to have, like, they don't want to cover up the artwork at all.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Well, she seems pretty into herself. Let me tell you.
Yeah, she's having a good old time.
I don't think there's a dude here. Oh no, she's doing some oral stuff.
Yeah. What's she doing about there?
Well, let me know how that is, and then I'll try and go find that cover specifically.
Yeah. So this is A Bedtime Story. This is only going to be 3 issues. It's
Becky Cloonan and who, right?
Tula Lotte.
Ooh, she's great.
Yeah. And it was described as a very spicy book. And so I bought it.
Some smut.
Oh my. Anyway. I love some good
I wish
smut.
I had one of those pages where it's like it folds out and you could like read it like this.
Like, oh.
Do you remember when they had those a bunch in like Marvel comics?
No?
Or like they would be like ads for comics, but you'd open them
Oh,
up.
yeah.
And I'm like, this is cool.
But it'd just be like ads for like other comics.
It'd be for like tie-ins.
Yeah, it's like, check out all 8 tie-ins.
He's like, you want some Civil War 2 shit? Check out Civil War 2 fucking Iron Fist.
That probably like added so much cost to just printing a comic,
It
you
did,
know?
but it was cool.
I guess.
I liked it.
It just made the book thicker for no reason.
Yeah, but I want artwork to be like, it's not even, it's like a fucking quadruple page spread.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
So you didn't get World's Finest number 21?
No.
Well, I got Black Hammer The End number 4. I got Hack Slash Back to School number 2.
Dude, they didn't have that.
Dude, your shop sucks.
Dude, it did suck this week, apparently.
And then I got Snarlagon by Andrew McLean.
Yeah. Big clutch from your shop.
Yeah,
Picking up
dude.
Snarlagon.
This is the Andrew McLean Kickstarter that he did a few months ago. And luckily, like I missed it, but luckily my shop did the retailer order and got like 10 of them.
Yeah, that's sick.
And he put them out today, the one Wednesday, and who knows how long I went in. And he held one for me because he saw how much like Godzilla shit I was buying.
Oh.
And then we also like talked about it, but I
Wow.
got you a copy
Yeah, I appreciate that.
because we had also talked about it.
Yeah.
So
I
it looks
can't wait to
pretty
read
cool.
it.
Yeah, I know. Did you watch anything new?
Well, I read Holy Roller.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about what we read. Yeah. How is it?
Interesting.
You can get Holy Roller number 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like the cover has him in like a cool suit and stuff, and we don't see that.
No cool suit yet.
But there's bowling ball action, which I like.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, and so I'm like, okay, cool. I've never seen someone fight anybody else with like a bowling ball,
Yeah.
and I think there's like references to the Big Lebowski.
Nice.
Yeah, so because there's a guy that looks exactly like John Goodman's character in this.
Did he say over the line?
He might have, but he looks like fucking. What was the actor's name again?
John Goodman?
John Goodman. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like smoking. And he's got like big short, like the short buzz cut thing, and I'm like, that's definitely like a reference to that character.
Do you see anyone lick a bowling ball?
I was looking for it, but no.
Did you wait? Wasn't there the sequel with John Turturro? It was called like The Holy Roller or something.
I think that's the writer of this, isn't it?
John Turturro?
Isn't it? Hold on. I think I have it.
Oh no, the Jesus Rolls.
Oh, it's Joe Troman. Oh, Rick Remender, not Nick Spencer.
Oh dang, that movie came out right before COVID,
Really? But yeah, there's some.
and it made $64,000.
Wow, it's like a car.
Couldn't even buy a car to that.
There's also like a really funny rivalry in this. Like the idea of the rivalry, I think is just silly. So
Okay.
I liked it. It was like different than what I thought it was going to be, just like for a first issue, but I still like it.
Nice,
So that was the only thing I read actually.
for sure.
But what'd you watch, Daniel?
I watched the movie Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the Thanksgiving slasher movie by Eli Roth.
who's
Pretty
that?
neat. Director.
What else has he done?
Hostel.
What else?
You remember the guy with the bat in Inglourious Bastards?
No,
Okay.
I've seen that movie a couple times. I don't remember the guy with the bat though.
One second.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
It does.
Is he the actor?
Yeah.
Eli Roth is,
Yes.
and he makes movie.
And he makes movie.
Cool, good movie. Thanksgiving.
We'll get to it. Hold on.
Okay.
That guy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's Eli Roth. Anyway, I thought it was a lot of fun. It was good. There was nothing I really disliked about it. Overall, I'm just like, it was fun.
What
you
kind
know?
of Thanksgiving kills were there?
So a woman was basted like a turkey and
Ooh.
then put into a real big oven
Okay.
and then served to her husband.
Was there someone that was like deep fried in like that big tub?
No deep frying.
That's the best way to do it.
What was the other? Oh, someone's head was smashed by a meat tenderizer.
Okay.
That was a good one. So there's like themed kills in this, and I thought that was really fun.
I feel like they should have done like a cornucopia based murder.
Oh, dude. Okay, so there's this one kill where the killer takes those little like things you put in a corn on the cob so you can eat it,
Yeah.
and just stab someone in the ears.
Ooh,
It was crazy. That's probably my favorite
I
one.
feel like that wouldn't like kill someone though.
It didn't.
Oh, okay. It just hurt real bad.
Yeah. And so yeah,
Is there a reason it was on Thanksgiving, or it just happened to take place on Thanksgiving?
yes, there was a reason, because there was like a big event that there's like a big sale at like a store on Black Friday, but it started on Thanksgiving because Black Friday, you
Yeah.
know? And
So it's about capitalism.
it went really badly and people were killed, and so tons of people had motive to be this like killer or whatever. And so it was kind of like a whodunit as well, like who's the killer kind of thing. And so you're
okay.
kind of guessing the whole time, but you don't really ever guess correctly.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie is all killer, no filler, Nathan.
Okay, that's good.
I think it was like only an hour and a half. It might have been longer, but it didn't feel longer,
Okay.
He's got this mask on that is like John Carver. So that's what I guess. So that's like
Of course it is.
it connects to like that town or whatever. And so it's like just like a little plastic mask, and then he also dresses up like a pilgrim or whatever.
The
The
mask
theme,
was John Carver?
yes.
That's cool.
And
He's
he had
carving
like, and he had
like a turkey.
and he had a mask, or no, he had an axe, and that's how he did most of the killings.
Good.
And
Like a
yeah, it was
pilgrim.
pretty good. It was a fun time.
Nice.
I think if you like slasher movies, definitely check it out. But if not, your life will be okay.
I like that.
Did you watch anything?
I finished Goosebumps.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
It's weird because it feels like the finale was episode 8 and you could have stopped watching and that's like a whole season. But there's episode 9 and 10, which like unresolves what happens to be resolved in like the final episode 10 in like a weird way.
Huh.
And so I think episode 9 dragged, but episode 10 was like kind of cool. But I was just like over it because I thought it was done with like with like episode 8.
That's hilarious.
Because like in episode 8, like they, Justin Long is like not possessed anymore, and like the big villain was like Snappy, which is like the puppet, and they like kick him off a cliff, and he falls super deep down into like some snow, and then everybody like hugs each other and like we did it. And then episode 9 was like, man, that was fucked up. What happened, right? We should like move and go to like Seattle for like a little bit. And then it's like, ooh.
Snappy's here now.
And like the way that they justified it going on for like 2 more episodes is really dumb. And I'm just going to spoil it. Even though I liked up till episode 8, I was like, this was pretty good. But Justin Long's character is like a writer.
Okay.
And he inherited a house where a kid like died in. And then his spirit possesses like the puppet.
Okay.
That is like Snappy or something, or Slappy. And then Justin Long gets possessed, right? And it's like this whole thing. Anyway, at the end, it like gets resolved. And since he's a writer, he just writes about pretty much the whole Goosebumps season and like what he experienced, but he just uses different names. And then his publisher calls him back and is like, we really like the book, but we want like a crazier ending. And so Justin Long goes and finds the puppet in the snow that they just fucking killed. And he just like picks it back up, and then he gets like, he doesn't get possessed again, but like releases like the spirit that's inside. And,
just to see what happens?
Just to like see what happens. And like, he just hopes that they'll like resolve it again. And he just like wants a better ending because he doesn't think that he's a good writer. And so he thought a twist would be him going and fighting the fucking puppet and like just doing it again.
So meta.
It's unreal. And I think Justin Long like acts really good in this too. And I think actually a lot of the like kid actors were really strong actually.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, wow, this is very believable. But like the only thing I liked about the ending is that they like start turning like people into like puppet people, and so it like changes their face to look like very plasticky and like weird, and it's like very off-putting. And so I'm like, this makeup is like practical and it's like really freaky. So I kind of like that aspect. But
I think most horror fans love like practical effects.
yeah, it's really cool because it was just like, actors that like you've gotten familiar with, but then when their like face gets turned all puppety, it's like, ooh, that's fucked up. So it was cool. But if you're gonna watch it, just watch like episode 8, and that's probably like a better ending.
For sure.
But I liked it. And then I also watched the newest Invincible episode.
I did not watch that.
Okay. There's a voice actor that's new in this, and it's very distracting to me. And I can't separate what they've done before because they do the exact same voice.
Well, is it Chris Pratt?
No. That would be no. Because I'd be like, oh wow, it's Chris Pratt.
Is it Chris Pratt doing his Mario voice or his Garfield voice?
Yeah. Or his Emmett voice.
Or his Lego Man voice?
Yeah.
Is it like a spoiler for you to tell me?
I can tell you like
tell me if will it ruin my enjoyment of that episode if you told me?
No, I don't think so. But
okay.
I just didn't want to say it outright. But the voice actor for Optimus Prime does Optimus Prime in this pretty much, but he's supposed to be Thetis.
Thetis. Oh, what?
Yeah.
Like the Viltrumite?
Is he a Viltrumite?
What's he look like?
If he's like an old guy with like long white hair, and he's like the leader of like the council that Alan Alien's on. And so I don't think I'm supposed to know he's a Viltrumite if he is, but
I don't know if he is actually.
Good save.
I can't remember.
I mean, it's a good episode.
That's sick though.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they jumped into him
but
already.
He like does like the whole fucking Optimus Prime voice.
Transform or whatever.
And he's like, I wish I'd
Autobots.
Dude, it feels like that.
Viltrumites.
It's yeah, he's like Viltrumites. Like he does like the like that's how he like like he like the cadence of his voice is like that like the whole time, and I'm like, this is just Optimus Prime, and it's very distracting to me, even though this character is kind of cool.
He like gets up,
like yeah, he gets out of the chair like that.
That's so fucking funny. I need to watch this like when you leave.
I was like, dude, I can't separate this from Optimus Prime because that's all he's doing. It's like Peter Cullen, is that his name?
Something like that.
And it's just like
I'm glad
like,
he has other roles though.
So like there's like a thing happening where there's like a mole or whatever they has to find, and he tasks like Alan the alien doing it, and he's like, Alan, you have to find the mole, and like stuff like that. And I was like, Jesus Christ. So there's like other actors in here where I'm like, I think that's this person, but they were like at least doing a voice.
Yeah.
But this was just like, it feels like they got an Optimus Prime AI to just voice this character.
That's not how he actually talks, is it?
I don't think so, but I don't know now. Maybe that's just like all he knows how to do. And so when
he talks to like his grandkids that way.
Like maybe like whoever casted was like, we need something cool. I got
you this little toy.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, dude.
That's nuts.
Yeah, but the episode was cool. Okay. It's also weird because the credits happen like a third into the episode, but then the episode there's like you know how they'll like end the episode and be like written by and then directed by whatever.
Yeah.
And then there'll be like an after credit scene like right after, like just like 5-10 seconds.
Yeah.
They do that, but the credits are like a third into the episode, and then there's still like 2/3 of the episode that are like the after credit scene. And I don't know why they did it like that.
Huh. Maybe it was from people bitching about like after credit scenes.
I don't know, maybe something like that, but
anyway,
it was very weird. But yeah, anyway, I liked the episode. It was really good. And at the end, me and Sophie were popping off because of the cliffhanger. So is there going to be like a mid-season break or something?
Yeah.
After episode 4?
Yeah.
Okay. That sucks.
The next part comes out next year.
Yikes.
And which is like a month away.
So something crazy must fucking happen. Which feels like it will.
I would assume, but then again, like...
But maybe it just like won't, and then it'll just
But why write it just to have like a season 4 cliffhanger, or episode 4 cliffhanger?
Yeah.
But then again, like, that's kind of how Robert Kirkman wrote. Like, every like 6th issue, there was a cliffhanger, you know?
Yeah. That's kind of like
it was
how...
just like his formula.
It could have been like this episode, I feel like.
Okay.
Like where they started like a break, because it's like, oh, that's huge, you know?
Okay. I'll let you know.
Anyway.
I watched a bit of Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
Yeah, I didn't get the chance to watch it yet.
Have you heard anything about it?
No.
Okay.
Should I try to avoid hearing stuff about it?
Avoid.
All I heard about it is that it's not what it seems. And that's all I've heard.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, just watch it.
I will. By next episode.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on episode like 6.
How many are released?
8.
Okay. Well, I need the Netflix password from you because I tried to watch it and we had time to watch it, but all my shit got signed out because of the new Netflix stuff.
Oh, right.
So I need to figure that out.
For sure. What are we gonna read next week? Sweet. And what are we reading next week, Nathan? I ask you that
Daniel,
because
it's
it
my
is
birthday.
your birthday episode.
And I've been cooking. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Because I told you what I thought it was going to be before, and you're like, I would just read this normally.
No, you can convince me any week to do this, honestly. But
yeah, I was going to have us read Thor's, which is the Secret Wars Battle World series where a bunch of Thors are cops, and it's like a fucking cop noir, and it's really good, actually.
Dude. They're in that fucking MODOK book that we read.
Yeah, the Thors. Yeah, dude. I really like that story. And like Beta Ray Bill's like a cop and shit. And I'm
Nice.
like, oh,
Spoilers.
man, it's so cool. I mean, it's on the cover. But
Anyway, but what do you got for us next week?
I was weighing a couple different options. It was going to be Captain Atom, but I'm like, I really don't know if that book is as good as I remember it. And
Did you read that before?
I skimmed through it and I was like, is the artwork as amazing as I remember? Because I remember being blown away. And it is really good because it's like colored pencil, I think.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
so it's
nice.
pretty solid. But then I was like, what's Daniel like? Never gonna let me read it. And so I was gonna do like Sinestro. There's a good Sinestro thing. I was gonna do Red Lanterns for a little bit,
cool, yeah.
which would be cool. But I landed because Daniel, we're 192 episodes in and we've barely done any X-Men. It feels we've done new X-Men.
We've done
X-Force.
And we did Old Man Logan.
We did Old Man Logan, but it's not really.
And we did Deadpool.
That's not really. And so
He's an X-Men.
we're going to do Amazing X-Men. The Quest for Nightcrawler is what the sub thing is called. It's written by Jason.
Amazing X-Men?
It's called Amazing X-Men.
Okay.
It's a very random one. It's also a book that I remember reading and thinking it was amazing. But it's Jason Aaron writing it when he was doing X-Men. And I think it's like Stuart Immonen or something on art.
Wow, nice.
And so it bangs. And there's like one specific part in particular where I'm like, damn, this hits like emotionally. And so
You're going to be so mad when you hear my pick like on my birthday.
oh, really? I probably
You might not know what it is, but you won't like it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but I like X-Men a lot.
X-Men.
And this is one of the books where I was like, yeah, this shit's cool. And it's a Nightcrawler story, which is like my favorite X-Men. So.
Ed McGuinness?
Oh, Ed McGuinness. Yeah, that's what it is.
Cool.
So yeah, that's what we're reading.
This looks neat.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's not on Comixology Unlimited.
Nope.
I feel like since like
But I paid
the
for
merging
it
of the apps.
6 years ago. So,
You still have it?
Yeah, it was still in my Comixology like library thing as something I owned. So
That's awesome.
we see Nightcrawler's dad in this, Azazel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there's some fucking wild shit that happens. I remember. So
All right, I'll look for it. But it sounds good. Amazing X-Men.
yeah,
Next
and
week.
I feel like that's a random trade where you'd be like, no.
Yeah, if you suggested that,
I'd be like, maybe.
I'd be
something
like,
else.
nah.
So
Cool.
that's my book.
Thanks everyone for listening. Thanks for watching. Tell us.
Tell us your favorite French book.
Yeah.
Or foreign comic
Yeah.
that's translated.
Tell us if you know French and what your favorite French comic is.
Yeah, and then if you'll translate it for us.
Please. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me
Yeah,
know if
do
you speak
tons
a
of
different
work.
language, but you listen to our podcast for some reason.
Yeah. If you just like the sounds of and the cadence of our voices, but don't know what we're saying.
And my Optimus Prime impression.
We got links in the bio. You can go like, comment, subscribe. Leave 5 stars if you like us. Nothing less, please.
Unless you really feel that way.
No.
In which case,
just don't leave leave
email me.
anything.
If you do feel that way, email me at tradewaiterspod@gmail.com and just put the subject 4 out of 5 stars or like 2 out of 5 stars.
Yeah.
But don't leave it on the review. That's
Shit on
dumb.
us via email.
Yes, I would love that.
Okay. I think
I'm
it's
just kidding. All right, bye.
All right, bye.